Yes, we are. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friends. John Potter, live and local. Hey, Derek.
Hi, John. How are you?
It's good. Been a good week, my friend. You know, you got me reading a lot of medical news and listening to health podcasts. You get me into this subject here. And from everything I've heard and read, you are so right.
Thank you.
On everything, my man. You were the first to tell me this stuff, but let me run you through some discoveries I've made this week and see if you agree with these. All this time, Derek, I've been making breakfast shakes, sometimes a little peanut butter, sometimes protein powder, but always with bananas and berries. And now I read that you should never combine bananas with berries because bananas block over 80% of the flavonoids from the berries. And flavonoids are the big benefit, the big source of antioxidants. Have you ever heard that?
I have not ever heard that.
Bananas block the berries. Okay, I was ticked off about that. And we talked about fish oil before. And I learned never take fish oil on an empty stomach. It's a waste of fish oil. It won't work. You got to take it with food. And avoid the fish oil pills. You don't know how new they are. You know, you can't tell if it's real. Buy the actual fish oil and sip it after you eat.
Ooh, that sounds horrible.
I know. Okay, here's what's even more horrible. What's your take on apple cider vinegar?
I like it.
Okay, I've been taking apple cider vinegar shots every night. I truly suffer doing that. It is, oh my God. But I had a hairstylist tell me to rinse after shampoo with apple cider vinegar. Said it's the greatest thing for your hair. And yeah, I could kind of tell it did look and feel better. So, and finally, what's your take on this new discovery I made, black maca powder?
There's a lot of scientific evidence that says it's very beneficial. I use it in several formulas. It's in the gut health
You've
formula.
been hiding this from me.
I try not to get caught up in the details much with things like that because it's in the memory formula, it's in the gut health formula. I think it's in one other formula as well. So it's very beneficial.
I know somebody who just sings the praises of this, and oh my God, it's great for virility.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence supports that
You
too.
hid that from me? All right, Derek is very excited. He says this product is probably the best ever. You have a new formula, and it's called Mighty Cell. What does it do?
It enables us to generate stem cells by natural process. And so I've actually been working on this formula for over a year. And so it just finally came together about 6 weeks ago. Because what I know is if we're going to try to promote the generation of new cells, right? That's kind of going against a normal structure because as we age, we just naturally produce less. So what I know is we have to do somehow activate the brain for new generation, new information, new awarenesses, but we also have to be able to generate an electrical communication. So we have to engage the nervous system. So we have to get the brain and the nervous system to engage in this process to generate new cells or to rehabilitate older cells. So that's working on mitochondria and stem cell production. And so the last piece of this was actually the GABA neurotransmitter because that supports the electrical communication, the nervous system, and able to invigorate and activate a new cell. And so GABA kind of pulled it all together.
I like how the construction of these formulas is just basic, common sense, step-by-step construction. This affects this, which should affect that.
Yeah, that's the way we as humans actually function. It's really simple if you understand the process. It's all, if you do this, this, and this, it's going to have this end result. But if you try to skip like steps 2 and 4, you can't get to 10 if you skip a significant amount of steps in the process. And so this is kind of where I view science and medicine kind of falls flat, is they don't complete the entire process. They try to skip steps.
Well, this is how the body works.
Right.
It's a chain.
Yeah.
This that you take that affects this organ will ultimately affect usually the brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
So
just Mighty Cell.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've had such great results with it so far. I can't say enough great things about it. People who've been testing it, they say that their recovery from workouts has reduced substantially. We have people who lift weights who take it and said they put over 100 pounds on their max squat in less than a month. And that's pretty substantial. I mean, it's pretty fantastic the way it works. I'm very, very happy. It surprises me how good it works. How about that?
Yeah, you came in busting today. And here's even better news. You have a sale on this one product, Mighty Cell.
Yeah, we're gonna do a buy two and get one free to promote the products. And it's going to take 1 to 2, maybe even 3 months to start noticing a great physical shift. But some people notice results in less than a week. Some people notice it in a month. Some people it might take 2 months. But everyone has noticed some significant benefit within 2 months, no matter what.
Well, I'll tell you, man, your other products, I feel the benefit all the way around. I haven't had one loser yet. Do you ever discontinue certain products?
I have not. I've thought about it just based on lack of interest. But anytime I think that, we end up getting like a dozen sales of it that day. So which that tells me, okay, don't do that.
I have a testimonial for my wife. Now, you gave me your hair formula, and I didn't think I needed it. I set it aside. For a week now, my wife has been taking it. She was griping about her hair. She thinks it's too thin and such. And I said, oh, wait a minute. I got just the thing for you. So I got the hair formula out. I have 2 packets of them. You must have thought I was going bald. I don't know.
It's efficiency.
Really? Okay. I was blessed with good hair. I mean, my dad was bald and everything, but it comes from your mom. But she's worried about her hair, so I'm going to update you on this next time I see you, how it's working. How long will it take for us to notice a difference with the hair formula?
Usually within 2 weeks, people can start noticing a difference.
Okay, well then by next Saturday.
Yeah, it's usually that fast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty efficient.
All right, great, folks. If you have any questions, 884-9910. Derek Lee, Brain Health Formulas. The website is brainhealthformulas.com. To buy 2 and get 1 free, go to brainhealthformulas.com and just go to the Mighty Cell. It's on the front page.
Front page, right on top.
You're so proud of it.
I am. It's a fantastic formula. It's very thorough.
Okay, so purchase 2. The website is smart enough to give you that 3rd one free, right?
Yep.
Or you order 3 and a discount.
No, you just order 2 and we'll give you the 3rd one for free in the shipping end.
Okay.
So it's we make it not have to deal with discount codes and all those things that become issues. So we just handle it all in shipping. Yeah.
You hush. We never talked about your shipping. What do you use? I mean, good, reliable shipping?
We use USPS.
Oh, okay.
Reliable. It usually gets there. We've had orders that have not.
I was going to say.
We've had orders take 2 weeks to get from Minden to Gardnerville.
Isn't that weird?
I've
tracked packages Chewies and Sparks, I think. But it goes, the cat toys go, it seems, all around the country and then comes back to Reno.
Yeah, it happens.
Anyway, enough of that. 884-9910. Go to Brain Health Formulas, folks, during the spot break here, and buy 2, get 1 free to the Mighty Cell. Be back for one more segment with Derek Lee. Erectile dysfunction. All right, tell your kids we're talking about building construction here. But I was just asking you, if you made a product, because you say some of these natural ingredients, you were telling me GABA and we just mentioned black maca powder, are very powerful on this subject. Why don't you make a product for that one purpose?
I will.
Okay, I was just wondering. I mean,
I'd
be a hot seller.
I've done a lot of research into it.
Have you?
Well, I mean, it's because it is a big seller, and so it doesn't affect only older people either. I know, even when I was in my 20s, I knew people who were being diagnosed with ED in their late 20s. So it's a big issue for a lot of people, and I just haven't generated the specific formula yet to target that specifically.
All right, first I heard of this black maca powder being like powerful in that respect.
Yeah,
So I want you to get me a big bag of black maca powder. All right, I'm sorry. You were telling me during the commercials you wanted to talk about new discoveries. What
Testimonials.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
Testimonials
had
and reviews. Okay.
so this
I got
was
distracted.
So I had a couple calls this week. One individual has, it's either an autoimmune disorder or a neurodegenerative disease, and it might actually be both.
Mhm.
It's considered to be a white matter degenerative disease in the brain. So this individual has like 8 different spots in the white matter, or 12 different spots, excuse me, in the white matter of the brain, and she was having seizures, one every 2 or 3 days, and this is happening often. It was getting worse and worse and worse as time was going on, and somehow she got a hold of my products. She started taking Restore, and so in February of this year, she actually had a CT scan. I believe that was the test she had, where she had 12 different spots or lesions in the white matter of the brain, and she was having the seizures were increasing as time was going on. So she was taking Restore, and since she started taking Restore in February of this year, she's only had 1 seizure, which is in April.
Yeah.
And she only has 4 spots visible in the white matter now instead of 12. So it's actually the first time we have tangible evidence of how Restore can actually rebuild the functionality of the brain from a technical, scientific proof place.
That Restore. Is there anything it can't do? This just comes up every Saturday here. Somebody talking about Restore. Any testimonials?
That was that one. And
Oh,
then-
that was it. Okay.
That was one. We have another one
Okay.
where this guy, he's a 24-hour caretaker. He's a primary caretaker for his wife. She has ALS. She's been immobile for 3 years, I believe he said. And he called to tell me he ran through all the list of stuff he's giving his wife through a feeding tube, because and he told me that she can now talk, she can now move, and she can't eat on her own yet, but she's able to communicate with him, where she's been in the inability to communicate at all, or to exhibit or exude any emotion.
The problem you had.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
And so,
in case you're new to Derek, he had brain damage and could not communicate, and that set him on a quest to find out what could how he could overcome this with these ingredients. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No worries, it was great. It was perfect.
Mhm.
And so he told me that I know because his wife is like 5 years into ALS, and the time expectancy once someone becomes diagnosed with ALS is typically 4 years.
Okay.
She's been immobile for 3 years. So it's kind of, the life expectancy definitely goes down pretty quick after that. So he told me that
Don't remind me.
I know for a fact that the only reason my wife is still alive is because of your products. And the fact that she can move her head and she can actually talk somewhat now, and she can exhibit some emotional nature, he's like, I can't thank you enough for everything you're doing, for everything you've done. And she continues to improve, and I just want to keep giving more. So he ran through all the list of stuff he's giving her. And so then I started giving him some ideas on how to try to improve this, because it's like, we need to try and activate more of the brain and more of the nervous system, and that's how we can get more aspects of the body to fire up.
Oh my God, Derek.
So yeah, those are pretty substantial.
All right, let's go to the phones. From Gardnerville, we have Tia on the phone. Tia, good morning. I'm so glad you called. Derek's here for you. Go ahead.
I was wondering what you thought of methylene blue.
Methylene blue. There's a lot of science that supports its benefits. I have not delved into enough of it to be able to provide an accurate opinion. But I know there's a lot of science that supports it heavily. That's
Tia,
the best I can say.
What's the buzz about that? What have you heard about it? What have you heard about it? What's the buzz about it? Abilities, okay. Wow. Okay. Derek's. All right, Derek, look into that. Fascinating. Thank you, T. I appreciate your call. What was the name of this again?
Methylene blue.
Methylene blue. How come I'm always the last to hear about these things? But this is how I found out about the milk thistle.
Yeah.
From people raving about it who had issues with their liver and such. And they go to the doctor after taking it and they find a huge improvement.
I found that in all the components in the Mighty Cell formula, milk thistle is one of those. And so when I was writing up all the information this morning for the formula, I kind of dissected each ingredient again so I can communicate all the different types of stem cells that it produces, that formula can produce. And so milk thistle actually contributes to the benefit of the colon and can actually mitigate colon cancer. And that, which I thought was pretty fascinating.
I love it. And I know a guy who just swears by milk thistle. You have your own liver formula.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites also.
Yeah, mine too. I have so many favorites of yours. Okay, once again, folks, brainhealthformulas.com. Go on the website, his new product, Mighty Cell. Buy two and get one free of Mighty Cell. Just buy two and the website gives you the third.
That's correct.
All right, that's super. Anything else? We got a minute left.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thanks for putting up with me for all this time.
Thanks for doing what you've done to my being. Your products, I've been taking them for over a year now, and I do not feel my age, my friend.
Isn't that great?
It is. It's wonderful.
Who would have thought at 70 years old your brain could be like you're 20 again?
I don't.
I
don't think I could have done this show before I met you. As a matter of fact, I did do the show before I met you, and I sucked. Everybody tells me. You told me that. You came to save me.
We are all an evolution of ourselves.
Okay. So
and there's the curtain call.
Yeah, there you go. Get off the stage. Derek Lee, brainhealthformulas.com. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks,
Looking forward
John.
to seeing you next Saturday.
Thank you so much.